Hi guys, welcome back to Chasing Cases with Maddie, of course. This week I am bringing to you guys a very interesting and bizarre case. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go chase some cases. Today we are going to be covering the case of Bryce Laspisa. In the early morning hours of August 30th, 2013, Bryce had decided he was done with a few things. He left school, broke up with his girlfriend, and was heading to his parents' house. On his way there, Bryce disappeared without a trace. Born to his parents, Karen and Mike, Bryce had a life full of education, fun, family times, everything. Just a typical normal teenagehood, adulthood, childhood, all of that. On the morning of August 28th, 2013, Bryce got in his car and headed up to Chico to break up with his girlfriend. He was leaving Rockland, California, and he was attending Sierra College. People speculate that he was having some sort of mental health crisis or it wasn't a midlife crisis, but he was definitely in a crisis situation considering that he was leaving college, he was breaking up with his girlfriend, and deciding to come home. That was just not like Bryce. On August 29th, Karen had received a notification from the insurance company claiming that Bryce had requested roadside assistance because he had run out of fuel in Buttonwillow. But hours after Bryce had received his gas from roadside assistance, he remained in the same location. Becoming concerned about her son, Karen called the service station owner and had a chat with him. After their conversation, the owner of the service station talked to Bryce and convinced him to continue on his journey home. This is when Karen finally talked to Bryce and discovered that he had an over 3-hour journey ahead of him still. Karen told Bryce to drive safe and that she loved him and that she would see him in a few hours. After a few hours went by, Karen and Mike had not heard from their son. This is when they reported him missing to the Orange County Sheriff's Department. The police began by pinging Bryce's phone and discovered that he was in Kern County, which was pretty close to the exact location where Karen had last had a conversation with him. After 7 p.m., a Kern County officer discovered Bryce's car parked only a few miles down from Buttonwillow. After searching the car, the officer discovered no traces of substances, no signs of intoxication were found. Karen and Mike stated they did not feel alarmed at this moment, claiming that making contact with the police and knowing that the police had made contact with Bryce, they felt a little reassured that their son was still okay. At 2:08 a.m. on the 30th, Bryce called his mom and told her that he was tired, so he was pulling off to get some rest. Karen told him to just lock his doors and to be safe because Bryce had described the area he was pulling off to as a residential rest area, but it is still unclear exactly where Bryce pulled off to. Hours later, they receive a knock at the door. Expecting Bryce, they open the door, surprised to see highway patrolmen. Discovering Bryce's car in Los Angeles County, 90 miles away from Buttonwillow and still 2 hours away from his parents' house in Laguna Beach, his car, a Toyota Highlander, was discovered on its side and all of the contents were still in it. The only things missing were Bryce and the clothes on his back. It had appeared that Bryce had exited the vehicle via the back hatch. Searches began, but nothing turned up. There has never been a sighting of Bryce Laspisa since. In the aftermath, the Laspisas are still searching for their son, hoping to find answers. They feel that media coverage is the best way to get answers and to get that closure that they desperately want. Karen has since created the Facebook page called Find Bryce Laspisa, where she accepts tips and everyone kind of talks about Bryce's case on that Facebook page. She keeps the page up and going in hopes that someone will have a tip leading her to Bryce. And with that is the end of this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, this one still leaves me puzzled because how many stories are just like this, and the police seem to not necessarily not care, but they don't seem concerned about it because they say that people have a right to be missing. But when you're not acting in character, it doesn't make sense to go missing. That's just how I feel about it. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Chasing Cases with Maddie. I will see you guys next week for a vlog and in 2 weeks for another episode of Chasing Cases. I love you.